Hey everyone, what's up? It's Scott the Frozen Gamer, and I was close to being a staff member on the Dice Tower. First off, there is a how to play / review of an old game coming up at the end of this, which is actually my audition that I used for the Dice Tower. But let's get back to the lead here real quick. I was almost a staff member on the Dice Tower. So this year I haven't really done many videos because my basement here, this side of my basement, had some bad water intrusion happening, and we had to redo the entire basement. Once we got it redone, which took a process to take it all apart because it's a finished basement, and then rebuild it back up and get everything back into place, then we had more water intrusion from a different problem with the house. So I had to take everything off again, and the house was a mess. On top of it, I just finished my second master's degree, and then life of a family, and I just didn't get to doing videos. And part of the other reason was I auditioned for the Dice Tower. So Tom put out a call earlier this year for people to submit to do how to plays for the Dice Tower as a part-time job. And I was like, sweet, I just finished grad school, I don't have a job right now, so I'm gonna submit for sure. I'm already doing this on my videos and I don't get paid at all for it. So of course I'm gonna do this for the Dice Tower, plus the Dice Tower is like my dream job to work for them. So I immediately submitted, said, yeah, here, I'm totally interested. I put my video I did of on tour right here of this game and linked that YouTube video and being like, yeah, here's about me, here's this, here's a video you can watch, I would love this job. And then Tom wrote back and said, well, here's the official way to apply for this job and do another video like Ticket to Ride level game, and then talk a little extemporaneously at the end about it. So I was like, sweet, I can do that. And I immediately I did all of it, the scripting, everything. I got it done in like a matter of hours, and I did Bruges, which is one of my favorite games. And I thought, well, yeah, I can do this game quickly and really well and get it into him before anyone else submits. So I did that and I put it together, and the next day after I edited it that night, I sent it out to Tom the next day. And I thought, you know what, I probably am not gonna get this. There's probably a ton of people applying for this job. And while I can talk in front of a camera very easily with my performing background, my first master's degree is in acting, I don't have the best editing skills. I use iMovie or iFilm or whatever it's called still. I don't have like Final Cut Pro or anything like that. I can do the editing that's in other programs, but it takes the iFilm program or iMovie, whatever it's called, is not as intuitive or has all the abilities as other programs do. So you have to kind of get like creative in how you do them and learn little tricks to get some of it done. And it takes a lot of time. So lots of times I just don't do them, but for some of them I do. I do them a little bit here and there. Anyways, it's like my editing skills, there's probably better editors out there than me, but I can talk very comfortably. So that's where I'm gonna, come across as really good on this. And I can write really decent scripts for the games and have a little bit of humor in there as well. So that's what I did. And so I submitted it, I waited and waited and waited, and I was like, I didn't get it. And then out of the blue, a few weeks later, I get an email from Tom saying, it was short and sweet, I really like your video. It was really good, and I'd like to talk to you some more. It was something like that. I don't remember the exact wording. And I was like, awesome. So we set up a date like a week later to talk. And I've never talked to Tom before. I got into gaming in 2010 and emailed him every once in a while about something cool or whatever. And he always gets back, which is amazing. He's so nice. And but I've never talked to him in person. I never have gone to a convention, a Dice Tower convention. I've never gone to any gaming convention. So I was all excited to talk to him, a little nervous, but I've done many more nerve-wracking things than that, so I just kind of kept that in perspective to keep myself cool and calm. And we had a lovely conversation for like 10 to 15 minutes about, just small talk, and then about the what he wants for these videos, what I can give for those videos, and typical interview questions at the end, but very loosey-goosey way. He was just very loose in the way he did it, and it wasn't that formal at all. It was really nice. And after I got off the phone with him, I'm like, that went really well, but I just don't think I'll get this job because I don't think my editing skills are up to charm. Like, he was shocked I didn't have a better editing program than what I use. So, which is kind of a compliment too, because I'm like, oh, you really liked it with what I actually do use for my antiquated editing program that I use. So that was kind of nice too. And then about a week later, I got the denial letter, and it was very nice. And I just want to thank the Dice Tower if they happen to be listening, because I love them. I still love them. I didn't get the job, but I wasn't really expecting to, and it didn't set me back any further in life or anything like that. I'm an actor. I've gotten rejection a lot throughout my life, and I was just happy that I was even, that they even looked at me, and then even looked at me further than the vast majority of people. On the phone call, he told me there was I believe he said there was over 400 people that applied for the job, and I made it into that last little group of people that he was considering. So that just, one was just, I was just honored to be completely legit, just 100% honored that they considered me. Two, it kind of affirmed that I was good at this. I love teaching games. I love sharing games that I love and teaching them to other people. So going forward with this channel, I'm going to be doing a lot more of how to plays. And then what I want to do is do the how to play and then give my quick little review, not go too in depth with reviews. This is kind of what I have been doing, but I want to then show like me playing the game if I can. Now I only have one camera, and I use very old, not the best editing program. So will it be great? I don't know. Will it be great? It will be great if I do it. Will it be good enough to do? I'm stumbling over my words. I don't know if I'll have the quality camera set up and everything to do playthroughs, but if I can, I will. That's what I want to say. So anyways, the following video, oh, and I want to also say, Salome did get the job, and I have watched his videos. He just came out with one today that I haven't watched yet. I think it was today. And I think great pick by the Dice Tower to go with Salome. He's wonderful. He's got the editing skills more than me. He's still very comfortable in front of the camera. He's doing a great job with it, and I'm very happy for him. I've never met him before, but I am very happy for him. And if I didn't get the job, he is someone that I'm happy that did get the job. So now I'm going to show you my audition tape, which is a how to play of Bruges, the old game. It's not on the market anymore. It's really pricey to get, and but you can get Hamburg by Eagle Griffin Games, which is basically the same game. They changed some rules, which I actually personally don't like a lot, but some people like better. The artwork is not as good in Hamburg, in my opinion. I like the Bruges version better, but I know some people like Hamburg better, and that's the game you can get at a healthy price that isn't paying way beyond what the game is actually, worth. So watch it here. It does have some Dice Tower music going. That was because it was my audition, and I put it in to have a little charm and a little humor to it, because I'm not really on the Dice Tower, but I put their music in for the audition video. That is not, this has nothing to do with the Dice Tower. This is my audition video. I'm going to put it very clear on the screen that this is not an actual Dice Tower video. Don't think it is. It was an audition, people. It was in my audition. So anyways, learn about Bruges. It's one of my favorite games. I think it's like my second or third favorite game of all time. The last time I did my rankings. And enjoy it. Peace and stay cool. Welcome to the Dice Tower, and I'm Scott Witebski, and today we're going to be flying on over to the country of Belgium because we're going to learn how to play Bruges by Stefan Feld and Z-Man Games. So let's head down to the table and learn how this game, Bruges, plays. It's really a fairy tale of a city. So this is Bruges set up for a 3-player game. The first thing we're going to do is stack the statue tokens in descending order from 7 on down to 2. On their designated space on the game board. Take your small player color token and place it in one of the corners of the board to signify your 2 parts of the canal. For the cards, shuffle all of the cards together and then divide them into 5 roughly equal stacks. They do not need to be the exact same amount in each stack. You're gonna grab as many stacks as there are players, in this case 3, and shuffle those stacks together. Then take that new deck you just made and split it to 2 roughly equal draw piles and place them in the card containers and set those next to the board. All the remaining cards just set aside as a reserve pile. This is going to come into play when one of the main piles runs out at the end of the game. Each player is going to grab the 2 pawns in their color. One of them's for the scoring, starting on space 5, and the other one goes into Town Hall. Everyone's going to have 3 majority markers in their player color, but you're going to start them on the gray side facing up. You start with 1 worker of each color, so 5 in total. Everyone's going to start with 5 guilders, that's the money in the game, and 2 overview cards. The player who most recently ate Belgian chocolate gets the start player banner. Yes, that is what it states in the rules. The game is played over multiple rounds, with each round consisting of 4 phases. Phase 1 is drawing cards. Players are going to draw cards one at a time until they have 5 in their hand, and you can draw from either of the 2 available piles in any order. Phase 2 is dice and threats. The start player rolls all 5 dice, which is going to trigger 2 things during this phase. The first is threat distribution. For each 5 or 6 rolled, every player gets a threat marker of that color. And getting 3 threats of the same color triggers penalties. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them, but for an example, if you get 3 yellows, you're going to lose all your money. If you get 3 blues, it's a flood and you're going to lose all your workers. The second thing is gaining reputation in the city. So players can pay guilders to advance up the reputation track. The cost to move up the track equals the sum of all the 1s and 2s showing on the dice. So if there's 1-1 and 1-2, it's going to cost 3 guilders to move up the track. And each player can advance only 1 space per round. And then just realize that dice showing 3s and 4s have no effect during this phase. Phase 3 is the action phase. This is the meat of the game. And everyone is going to take 1 action at a time going clockwise of the possible 6 actions, all which are listed on every card in the game. The first action is take workers. You just play a card from your hand, and you get 2 workers of that color that you just played into your personal supply. The card will go into the discard pile. The second action is take guilders. You're going to discard a card and get guilders equal to the die value of the played card's color. The third action is discard threat. Discard a card from your hand and remove a threat marker matching the card's color. And you also get 1 point for doing that immediately. Action 4 is building the canal. Look at the 2 sections of your canal. You're able to build the next part of either side that is available on the 2 tracks. But you need to play and discard a card of the matching color. If you don't have a matching color in your hand, you can't build a part of that canal this round. You also have to pay the cost shown on the space you are building on. So you also need to have enough money to do this action. Then place a canal token on the matching color space. If you get to the 3rd level of the tracks, they'll both give you 3 points at the end of the game. Also, as you complete each section of the canal, grab a statue token, because these 2 are simply just end game scoring points. Action 5 is building houses. Play a card face down in front of you. This is the beginning of a tableau you will be building throughout the game. You have to pay 1 matching worker color to build the house. So discard a purple worker to build a purple house. And then every one of these houses can hold 1 citizen of Bruges. And this leads us to the final action that you can do on your turn. And that is recruit a person to your part of the town. Simply take a card from your hand and play it onto a house. It doesn't have to be the same color as the house, but you do have to pay the cost in guilders to recruit this person to your part of town. Every person has abilities that come in 3 different types. There's immediate abilities, it has the arrow icon, and these are one-time effects that trigger as soon as you play that person into your house. There's the endgame scoring abilities, which have the laurel icon on it. These are special scoring bonuses that only activate during final scoring. And last is the ongoing abilities, and these are signified with either the worker or infinity icon. These are abilities you can use during the game either by playing workers or automatically. The abilities with the infinity icon will trigger whenever you do what it says on the card. And the abilities with the worker symbol, you just have to pay a worker from your supply to do that ability. You can only do these abilities once per round, so after you use them, just turn your card slightly so you know that you've used that ability. Each player will play 4 cards per round, which will usually leave you 1 card in your hand that will remain there for the next round. Phase 4 is the majorities and new start player phase of the game. So the first thing we're going to do is check for majorities in the reputation track in Town Hall, the number of people we have in our part of town, and how many sections of the canal we have built. So if you lead in any of these, then what you get to do is take 1 of your reputation tokens that's in front of you and flip it from the gray side to your player color side. And this will signify that you have gained 4 points for the end of the game. If you ever lose the lead in any of these, you don't lose those points. You get to keep the tokens color side up, and they will still count for points at the end of the game. After you've checked for majorities, everyone will straighten their cards back upright, and the start player banner is going to be passed clockwise to the next player, and a new round begins. Endgame triggers when one of the draw piles runs out of cards. So when one draw container runs out of the cards, immediately replace it with that reserve pile that we put away at the start during setup. Then complete the current round normally, and then play one more whole round that will be the final round of the game. So now it's time to do scoring and find out who wins the game. So points are going to come from the people cards that are in the houses in your tableau. The scoring symbol is always right below the cost of the card, and it's always 1/3 of the cost. You get 1 point for every house in your tableau, filled with a person or not. You'll get points from any special scoring abilities in the cards in your home that have laurel icons on them. You're going to get 4 points for every majority marker flipped to its color side. You'll receive 3 points for reaching each third space on your canal track. You'll get any points on statues that you earned. And last, you'll look at where you are in the reputation track in Town Hall and receive that many points. The most points wins the game, and if tied, the player with the most guilders in their personal supply will win. Welcome back, and that is how you play Bruges by Stefan Feld and Z-Man Games. So I'm going to do a quick mini review here. First thing I like about this game is the art. Yes, I do like the art in this game. I find it to really look and feel like the city of Bruges, even as it does today. The board, all the buildings in the board, the buildings in Bruges look just like that. The other thing about the art that I like is that every card has unique art for each citizen on it. And not only that, they all have unique abilities as well. The game, as much as a city game that's a Euro, can have like theme built into it, the theme just of Bruges, of the city of Bruges, just like the game feels like it. The mechanisms of building the canal and having a reputation of getting the guy through the town square, all of it just feels like you're in the city of Bruges, this fairy tale-like city. The other cool thing about the game is that they're multi-use cards and every action is right on the card. So you always are trying to figure out within these 5 cards that I have in my hand, which one am I going to use where? Like I'm going to use this one to get some money that I need. I need this one to get some workers that I need to do an action on a card in my tableau. And then this one I need to build another house because I'm out of houses to put this worker that I want to get here into the home, but I don't have enough money yet to get this worker in, so this is the card I'm going to need to hold for the next round to get in. All of that is just really, really cool and strategic, and that's the last part of the game that I like. It has deep strategy, but it also is a very tactical game as well. It's a tactical Euro game because you're stuck with the cards that you draw, and you don't know what colors you're going to draw from the two card holders. And I find that to be very exciting. If you got to choose the color cards that you want at all times, the game would almost play on rote because you'd always be able to do a little bit of what you want to do. But not getting the cards that you always want, it sometimes leads you to be very tactical and have a plan B. So maybe I'm trying to really build up the canals this turn, but I don't have the proper colors in my hand. I didn't grab those cards this turn. So I can't build the canal. So now I have to go work on getting my engine a little bit better. So that's my plan B for this round. And then maybe next round I can go back to plan A, but maybe not. Maybe I have to go to plan C next round and then go back to plan A. And this happens to everyone. So it's not just you that are getting bad luck in the cards. It happens to everyone at some point in the game. So you're all going through this struggle at once, and it really makes the game fluid, and it makes it so it's even though there's luck in the game, it still feels fair. And I just love that part and that tactical element to a heavily strategic game as well. So that's it. Bruges by Stefan Feld. Thanks for watching the Dice Tower. I'll see you next time. Peace and stay cool.